All right, happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Hat Creek Interior Studios. We're glad you're with us tonight for the daily broadcast. A lot of Texas Tech stuff. Cincinnati suing your quarterback, Brendan Sorsby. Do you even care as a Texas Tech fan? Overrated, underrated, rated, right? Thursday topic tonight. Best and worst food cities in Texas. From the Metroplex to Lubbock. Is Lubbock overrated or underrated as a food city? What do we mean by that? Great food, great restaurants, great places to eat. Which places are underrated? From small towns to big towns, you tell us tonight. And then it's the annual Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations are out. There are three that must go in this go around. We'll see if you can guess what we're thinking on that. And Jerry Glasgow, Texas Tech head coach, softball, hates Abilene Christian because it's 21 to nothing, top of the fourth right now, out there at Rocky Johnson. Texas Tech opening up their home schedule, and it's just brutality in action. All right, let's get you guys on the show tonight. Let's find out what you're thinking. A variety of subject, Tech basketball on your mind, you name it, anything and everything. And that's a great thing. It's always open lines here on the show. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt. The Raiderland.com is the website. You start your day every day there. We got the cool Raiderland hot links, the best, freshest, and hottest links from around Raiderland, West Texas, and beyond. Brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas, USA. Handle all your meat processing needs. They ship to you if you can't get down to Post. So get on their website and tell them we sent you. Also brought to you by Gators, Bayou 98th and Slide. Hot Cajun food, ice cold drinks, all the games on TV. If you can't make it out to Texas Tech basketball or whatever, baseball, they got it out there waiting for you. Drop in, tell them we said hello. And of course, our friends in Red River, New Mexico, Lifts West Hotel and Condominium. It's spring break kind of coming up here. Now we're past Mardi Gras in the mountains and everything else. So you got about another 3 to 4 weeks, I think, left of the ski season. Depending on when they're shutting down this year, call our friends at Lifts West. It's basically ski in, ski out right there, right next to a Red River Brewery and Distillery, or the brewery actually. Distillery's on down the road. It's like a 4-minute walk. Yeah, it's horrible. So tell Billy Hurst we sent you there at Lifts West, our home away from home there in Red River, New Mexico. So everybody gets in on the United Supermarkets chat line tonight. Whatever's on your mind, we ask you tonight. The Cincinnati versus Sorsby case right now. This is the lawsuit du jour for NIL around college athletics. Cincinnati suing your new quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, for $1 million. They say, hey, man, we had like an 18-month deal and you bailed out on us and you said, if you did that, like we get $1 million, we want $1 million. You go into tech, you're making like $4 or $5 million, and we want $1 million. Sorsby's camp saying, yeah, you're not really proving any harm here yet or anything. I do have thoughts, and I do think Sorsby will end up paying Cincinnati money. But the initial question tonight is, how much as a Tech fan do you care about this lawsuit? And how much would you care if it was the other way around? If Texas Tech was Cincinnati and Sorsby was whoever quarterback at Tech going somewhere else, would that flip the narrative for you a little bit? Let's talk about great food cities, overrated, underrated, rated right. Let's talk about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There are three bands, I tell you, three bands, well, actually two bands and one solo artist that should go in this time around. All right. So let's get it going. Philip gets in on Facebook on United Supermarket chat line, the one supermarket that supports Texas Tech as opposed to others that gladly take your money, send it down south, and put it on billboards and scoreboards in Austin. How's it going? It's good. Thanks for asking. I mean, I could probably call it a night right now. Philip checked in. We're good. Nah, I'm just, Philip, I know your life is good too, by the way. Philip, Amarillo's American bar food scene is really underrated. Barbecue kind of overrated. Mexican food rated right. Boom, bingo, great. What I'm looking for right now tonight. See, he weighs in, top rope right there, Amarillo. Amarillo getting it done on some bar food. The barbecue kind of overrated. Mexican food rated right. That's what we're looking for. All around the state tonight. You know, we go Metroplex. Dallas. Is Dallas a great food city, or is Fort Worth a great food city? San Antonio. I know we have our favorite places. Houston. Those are the big cities. Give me some smaller towns, smaller places. Where do you think Lubbock fits in? Overrated, underrated, rated right as a great food city. I think Lubbock is probably underrated. It's getting some more pub. All of a sudden now we've got, after a dearth of barbecue places that I think were very good, or we didn't have a lot of good barbecue places. All of a sudden now we got barbecue places. And fish, my gosh. People love fish here now. James jumps in. I think the Thorsby, the Sorsby lawsuit is just the first of many to come, as mentioned from the beginning of NIL from you. Get a CBA, yeah. That you don't have to deal with this if you have a collectively bargain agreement with the athletes, with the employees. If the top 4 conferences break off from the NCAA, you can do this. But this is where we are right now. And I will say right now, looking at what has been presented by the University of Cincinnati, I've not seen anything that has been refuted by the Sorsby camp to say we don't owe it. They can say we don't want to owe it. You guys shouldn't want to get some money. But I didn't see anything yet. And I think the biggest question for me on a tech standpoint is Texas Tech had to know about this going into the deal with Sorsby, right? That if you're paying him $4 or $5 million, whatever the number may be, according to On3 or any of the other NIL outlets and sites that say what these deals are. Now, they're not public, but they're public. So let's say Tech's giving this cat $4.5 million this year. That I've got to think Texas Tech, Cody Campbell, Matador, Collective and all that stuff, that they looked at his deal at Cincinnati and said, okay, looks like an 18-month deal. You're leaving. If there's a clawback, we ain't paying it. All right. That we're not going to come back and pay over what we're already paying you to get you out of that deal if they come back. I've got to think that Texas Tech is smart enough from that standpoint to have a rock solid fiduciary agreement with Sorsby as he comes into Lubbock to say, hey man, if they want something for you, we ain't coming in and paying above what we're paying. You got to do it out of your pocket. And to this point, I hadn't seen anything that makes me think that Sorsby's not going to have to pay some money to Cincinnati. It'll go to court. Well, there'll be mediation. There'll be backroom negotiations. It could be settled out of court, But I got a feeling he's going to end up owing them some money based on what we've seen so far. But then the question becomes, do you care as a Texas Tech fan? Overrated, underrated, best, worst Texas cities based on food, based on restaurants, based on favorite places to eat, and that must go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I have 2 bands, 1 solo person, and Texas Tech softball. Where the hell are we right now? We're bottom of the 4th. It's 21-0. Texas Tech, 2 outs. Texas Tech just doing evil things. Abilene Christian, 13 runs in the first inning, 8 in the second. No. Philip, I care a lot about this suit because of the precedent it sets. I don't think it sets a precedent. I really don't think it does. I think this is a standalone. You had a contract, you signed a contract, whatever. We can go to Duke, Miami. They settled out of court on what the kid leaving Duke to go to Miami had to do with Duke on that. I really don't think it's precedent setting from the standpoint of it's going to create new law. It's going to create anything. I just think it is, how are we going to apply contractual law? I think it is interesting, though, to me, they filed this in federal court in Ohio, not state court. A lot of these, okay, if you judge shop, if you court shop, and you're a player, you're going to try to find maybe a sympathetic, like down in Alabama with a basketball player who played in the G League, played professional, and they went to judge shop and they got an Alabama judge, right? All right, so you do that. And then the NCAA and even the SEC and Greg Sankey came in and hammered Alabama over the whole deal. So it intrigues me to know, why did they go federal court instead of state court on this contractual law? Did they have to do it? Maybe because I don't know that it involves interstate commerce now, because Sorsby is now in Texas and not there in Ohio. I don't know that that would be it. I'm intrigued to know why they filed it there instead of a state court that might be much more sympathetic, potentially, to Cincinnati. Don't know. Philip jumping in. Evie Mae's really elevated barbecue in Lubbock. Evie Mae's, Shack. We got a lot of them out there right now that are doing pretty good. Danny jumps in our YouTube channel, and hopefully we're with you guys on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. We've had some issues the last week, I guess, with our StreamYard partner who does a great job creating this and putting it out there and making our life easy. But it wasn't working. It hadn't been working great with Twitter X and YouTube, which again, I say that's why you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's why you subscribe to our Facebook channel. That if you're on Twitter X and you're not getting it, you can go there and it's free. It's all free everywhere. I don't like it when I didn't like it when Baker Mayfield transferred to Oklahoma. I bet Cincinnati feels the same. I don't even know that it's a bitterness deal. I think it's a purely financial deal, that they need that money, or they want that money, because they need it for NIL stuff. Now, I'm sure they're maybe a little bitter, but I don't know. To me, this is just a business transaction. You know, we can relitigate the Baker Mayfield, Texas Tech, Cliff Kingsbury, OU, all that stuff all we want to. I think this one's a little different, a little more cut and dried. Or is it? His name is Jeff. He was a showgirl. Iron Maiden, InXS, and Phil Collins should be automatic for the Rock Hall of Fame. All right, so we're asking tonight, who must go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I got to go back over to here so I can get to my nominees. Where are my nominees? Thought I had nominees. All right, here are your Rock and Roll 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. Are we paying attention tonight? All right. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced 17 diverse nominees for the class of 26 on February 25, 2026, including first-timers Mariah Carey, great rocker, Cher as a solo artist, Oasis, Sade, Eric B. and Rakim, Jane's Addiction, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, and Lenny Kravitz. The inductees will be announced in April of 2026, with the ceremony taking place there in Cleveland in the fall. All right. So here are your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees this year. All right, are we ready? Are we paying attention? The Black Crowes, really good, solid, not Hall of Fame. Jeff Buckley, no. Mariah Carey, no, not rock and roll. Phil Collins, we'll get back to you. Great benefactor, the Alamo, Texas history. He deserves great respect. Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, Billy Idol. Billy Idol. Man, Billy Idol. I mean, White Wedding. And then you go, what else? Eyes Without a Face. InXS, Michael Hutchins, Dead, lead singer, good stuff. We didn't know how to say their name in the early 80s. We thought when it first came on MTV or whatever, we saw it, we were like, Inks? Inks? What is Inks? Iron Maiden. Joy Division, New Order. New Edition, Oasis, Pink, Shot Ace, Shakira, Luther Vandross, and the Wu-Tang Clan. Okay, there are your nominees. Who's in? Who's got to be in? Right? Who's got to be in? So we went Iron Maiden, In Excess, Phil Collins. Iron Maiden should be in. Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills, Number of the Beast. How could they not be in the freaking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Flight of Icarus, great album, 83, coming off Number of the Beast. Seriously? How can we not have Iron Maiden in there? In Excess. No vote for me. Phil Collins gets in as a solo artist. Absolutely. So there's one more. Iron Maiden and Phil Collins are two of my three. There's one more. Is Buddy Knox in the Hall of Fame? I don't know if Chuck Knox is in the Hall of Fame. Robert Christopher. Iron Maiden cover band. Tech softball 21-0 after 2. Yeah, we blew right past that. We're 24-0 now after 4. Robert C. It's just a pounding at this point. It's just rolling on. 3 more in the bottom of the 4th. 21 after 2. Oh yeah, we blew right past the 21 number. I don't know what ACU ever did to Jerry Glasgow, Tech head coach, but it must have been horrible. Must have been demented. All right, so I gave you the list of the bands and everything in this band that ought to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I will say this. The band that I say should get in, based on the nomination list, that should not be in because it's not a rock and roll band. And that's the problem I have with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It has mission creep. Horrible, horrible mission creep at this point. We're just putting out... Luther Vandross is great, right? We love him. He's not rock and roll. You can't do... So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has lost its mission. It's lost its focus. But there is one. If I've got to go off the ones on the list. Indeed he could. I've got a band that's got to be in there. But I want to see, I'm going to give you a few more minutes to see if we got it. So we have that food cities. Is Lubbock a great food city? Let's just boil it down. Let's bring it in for everybody who's with us tonight. And we can rank, I think San Antonio is a great food city. Eclectic. I think Houston is better than Dallas and maybe even Fort Worth because Houston it's got Mexican food. It's got seafood. It's got Thai food. It's got Vietnamese. Houston as a food city. And I hate being in Houston. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to go. But when I've been down there over the years and the decades, you're just like, dadgum. We got stuff going on here. Let's focus it in. Let's do this. Is Lubbock, Texas a great Texas food city? You tell me. Jump in here on the United Supermarket chat line where you can get great food every night and cook it up yourself. Or is it ranked? From barbecue? We got more fish places now than I ever thought we'd see here. Mexican food? Absolutely. We got some Italian food places here and there. Got a little Vietnamese. Got a little, stuff like that. District 1 over there, 98th and Slide. Cool stuff. Shout out Tiffany and Kevin over there. Where do you go with Lubbock? Where does Lubbock rank? You tell me. Philip makes the case Fort Worth has Joe Tees, therefore it beats Houston. All right. Okay. That's the hill you want to die on. Okay. Go there. Yeah, but Houston had Drexler's. Has softball scored another 34 runs yet? 24-0, top of the fifth. That'll be the final inning. This is bad. Oh wow, they did. I didn't even realize this. Tech has been pitching Nigeri Kennedy tonight. It's an effortless start for her. Get a free win. 6-1 on the year. 4 2/3 innings. She does. Let's see. I have to do this in the broadcaster vernacular so I don't screw up anything. Over the course of the outing tonight, through 4 2/3 of innings, you would have zeros across in the hit, run, and earn runs category with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts tonight for Kennedy. 60 pitches and 16 batters faced. So hopefully you get the idea there. Philip, underrated and many times forgotten food city, Laredo, Texas. This is a man who's driven a truck, people. My man Philip here has driven a 18-wheeler. He's been to Laredo. Huh. What makes it great? You'll have to tell us tonight on that one. I think Lubbock, from a food standpoint right now, is probably rated right. A few years ago, you could have gone underrated because you could have said nobody knew really about Evie Mays, what was going on out there, even the shack out there on North Frankfurt. That, you had a lot of not different hole in the walls, but Italian Garden and some different local places that were making it happen. And they pop up and they kind of go away and then different things. And then you got the old standbys. But I think maybe a couple of years ago you could have gotten away with underrated. Now I think Lubbock's probably rated right. If I had to think about Lubbock from a standpoint, I think Dallas is probably overrated at this point. I think Fort Worth is. I don't get out there enough anymore. I'm probably a bad one to judge now. I don't travel nearly as much as I did a few years back. But I think Fort Worth was coming up strong, I think, in my food game over the years compared to others. Austin is overrated, says Chris. I mean, I've got my places there, but after you get past, say, Texas Chili Parlor after 9 p.m., Manso Rancho, get the queso. Yeah, I'm kind of with you now on Austin being overrated. Philip, I mean, Buns Over Texas did beat the Oregon Burger Place at the Capital One Bowl. Yes, and you can still go to Buns Over Texas in Lubbock and get the cheeseburger that they created for that, and you can get it there. You can do it. New edition is in, says Robert Delgado. Well, hold on, because I'm looking at the nominees right now, and it says new edition for the 2026 Rock Hall of Fame nominees. So I'm telling you right now, they're not in. Nor should they be in. At all. Okay, so nobody's gotten the band that I was hoping that you guys would get to. That if they're on the ballot, and they are, and they're not a rock and roll band, they ought to be in. And they're really the reiteration of two bands. Agree. Any place that says your buns are up is a place to go to, and you get a great plastic cup. Had an edit issue. And you read my 3 before edit. Let's try this again. My top 3 based on nominees: Iron Maiden, any Iron Maiden cover band, the kids from Iron Maiden members. All right. That's salty. Just go ahead and name it the Pop Music Hall of Fame, talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's what we're getting to. All right, so here you go. Iron Maiden should absolutely be in. My gosh. If you didn't have Iron Maiden cassettes in your car truck in the early 80s, or an 8-track in my Camaro, yeah. Phil Collins, solo artist, ought to be in. I don't understand why he's not. And he's a great lover of Texas history. Go to the Alamo website and see all the stuff he has collected and donated to the Alamo. By the way, day 4 of the Alamo going on right now. Joy Division New Order is on the list. They ought to be in. So Joy Division starts in the late 70s. It's a post-punk, early new wave dance band. A couple of members splinter off, and then they reconstruct, and they become New Order. New Order was the ultimate techno pop dance band of the early mid 80s into the late 80s. Nobody better in the clubs. Nobody better. I mean, where do you want to go on songs? All right. I'm looking at a ranking on one of these things, and it's got Blue Monday as 4th. I would say that True Faith, number 1, Temptations, number 2, Thieves Like Us, then Blue Monday, Vanishing Point, Regret, and Bizarre Love Triangle. I would go Blue Monday first, then I would go Bizarre Love Triangle after that in 86. Then I come back to True Faith in 87 for my top 3. If that's all they ever did, and they did many more songs. Perfect Kiss, 85. Scrolling through here. Tutti Frutti was really good in 2015, by the way. Ceremony, 81. You know, it's a great song. But the impact, if we're talking Hall of Fame, we're talking impact. New Order. If they're on the list, they ought to be in there. All right? They ought to be in there. Philip says 6x9 speakers and an Alpine deck, Maiden's first album, youthful expectation that someday we'd rule the world. Let's see if you get previous reference. It's not Charlie Robinson, but I'll let you tell me which one it is, because I'm probably not going to get it right now. Now, I probably should. New Order ought to be in. If they're on the list, if they're qualified, and apparently they are to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, when I was a DJ back at the basement, the Virgin Club, rocking it for KTXT 88.1, lock it all the way to the left. We'd be out there Saturday nights. And yes, that's right. I was a DJ back in the day. I mean, that was it. That was the deal. Nobody better. The New Order. Max Stalling, good call. So I got to go Iron Maiden, Phil Collins, Joy Division, New Order. That's who ought to be in. We have a final from Rocky Johnson. This is a shocker. We didn't see this one coming. Texas Tech has held on against Abilene Christian University tonight. Nigeri Kennedy going to 7-1, 5 innings, a 1-hitter. Did not get the no-hitter. Gave up a hit there in the 5th. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. 24-0. Texas Tech wins. Golly. Tough one. Just a tough one right there. Barely getting through. 24-0. Oh, well. Hopefully they can hang in there tomorrow and get a few more wins. Tomorrow we got Tech baseball. Tomorrow we got, I don't know. I don't think this. I think the Sorsby Cincinnati case is going to kind of go on the back burner for a while. That both sides will, enter into their preliminary filings. Lawyers will do their things. I don't think we'll hear about this for a month or so. We'll see what happens. My prediction right now, Sorsby's going to pay something. I think he's going to end up paying something. Is it $1 million? I don't know. Will Cincinnati be able to claw back? Yeah. And will it go to a jury trial and everything else? I probably don't think so. So it's probably not going to happen. Last chance, get your comments in before we get out of here. Yeah, 24-0. Close. It felt like 28-0. 24-0 on the win there for Tech softball. Topic: Iron Maiden album, Boat, Peace of Mind. It'll be a settlement. Sorsby probably shovel $500,000 after all is said and done. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's entirely possible that this could be a rock solid case. Contract law, state of Ohio. He signed a deal. There's a clawback. You leave. They get $1 million, and he's writing $1 million check. If you run rule someone with a no-hitter in progress, is it still a no-hitter? Yeah, it's just a no-hitter truncated on a run rule. Like Caitlin Terry over the weekend in softball out there at the Mary Nutter Classic had a 5-inning, 6-inning, I can't remember what it was, no-hitter that Texas Tech ran them off on that one. All right, you guys are the best. We appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow in the morning. Now, we're going to have our website updated in just a little bit. You can share this at theraiderland.com. We'll also have our daily dose of West Texas for you on our Facebook page and on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. Follow us there. Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. See you then.